What's up? On my lunch break today at work, 6 days out. Um, yeah, I'm gonna start YouTubing a lot more, man. I'm just trying to make this a habit of mine to get on here. To be honest with you, my phone is so full of fucking pictures and videos and just shit that I need to clear out. The only way I can even post anything other than a short on YouTube right now is going live. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do some upgrading as far as like I need to get a laptop. I got to get a better camera to start bringing better quality content. But I'm just trying to get in the habit right now of getting on here, talking to you guys, getting more comfortable in front of the camera, talking about my prep and my plan, everything. Um, yeah, 16 days out though for my first contest, the Virginia Classic. I entered in the um, super heavyweight class, the open class. So it's above 225 is 225 and above basically, because I'm pretty conditioned right now at 237, so it'll probably come down a couple more pounds here in the next like 2 weeks or so. Just really digging in with the low carb diet and things like that. Lots of cardio, hour, well, 50-minute sessions a day is what's on my plan. But been doing the hour just to make sure I'm getting enough in a couple of days out of the week when I'm feeling a little fresher towards the beginning. I've been knocking out some 2 hour sessions. But all in all, man, things are going great. I had ran into a couple little digestion issues over the weekend and then about 2 or 3 weeks ago. But outside of that, everything seems to be 100%. Everything's clicking, training's going great. Definitely had to pull back on some volume though in my training just to manage fatigue and things like that because with the food being so low, it's easy to go in there and do way too much and just run yourself flat to the ground pretty quickly with carbs being only, my high days, my carbs are only 400 grams right now, 350, something like that. So my baseline meals are, I think it's 125 carbs, so like 25 grams of carbs a meal, and then last meal is no carbs, just some added fats and protein. So that being said, with the training, especially being this close, I've been pulling back, not really going to failure on it. That way I can stay, keep that fullness. I'm basically going in there, still going as heavy as I can, but I'm doing like one top set, and I'll kind of permit up to that top set, not not blowing my load anywhere in those build up sets. But then when I get to that top set, you know, going like maybe one RIR, and that's a true RIR, like not 10 in reserve or whatever. But I don't even like using that term because it's just fucking stupid to me. But everyone, you guys probably understand what I mean by that. One rep in reserve. So that has been one of the biggest things that I've learned through this prep is managing um, fatigue and understanding that pulling back on training doesn't make you soft or whatever. Being an idiot in the gym and running yourself into the ground just makes you a fucking idiot. If you know you're depleted and you're flat and you don't have enough carbs to sustain training like a animal, then maybe it's for the best to not be in there being an idiot, especially if you're close to a contest, you're super lean, body fat's low, things like that. It's not the ideal situation to be pushing yourself um, crazy hard. Obviously, you still want to be training hard and pushing heavy weights, but you got to know when it's time to pull back a little bit. And then, obviously, in the off season, when the calories are high, that's when you can increase that volume a little bit, go a little bit more ballistic in the gym. I'm looking forward to that time. Honestly, I've been dieting since what is it, like mid-October. Um, was up, what was I like 275 week of the off season, and I'm down to 231 has been my lowest weight so far on this prep. So what is that like 40 something pounds? 40 something pounds and since October number. Not bad. The beginning kind of just took it slow. Like a portion of that time I was actually in my health phase anyway, so we just kind of used that health phase time to pull back on food, not be really pushing anything too crazy. Um, and then use that time to kind of get ready for prep, so that when I was already pretty lean and in a way better starting point, so that as this preps went on, it was just kind of implementing the super subs, pulling food down slowly, and then as we've gotten closer, we've really dug hard, ramped up the cardio. But here towards the very end, we've pulled back a little bit on cardio. I think I'm going to go probably one more week of the rest, continue the rest of this week going bananas on cardio until Sunday. I'll check in with my coach and then we'll see what he says. Because Coach Colton, by the way, the best coach that there was and there ever will be out there. Dude is super knowledgeable. Literally can text him at any moment in time and with any question about anything, whether it's life or bodybuilding or whatever, and he will have a fucking legit answer for me and honest, um, advice, always steering me in the right direction, whether that's financially or, with my training or my nutrition, whatever it may be. Dude is just a stand up dude and genuinely likes to, help others. And you can see that and you feel that from him just talking to him. So I highly advise anyone that's on their fitness journey and wants to take, bodybuilding and things like that serious, definitely get a coach that is invested and committed to making others better, and giving their best to everyone else as well. I know there's a lot of people out there or coaches out there that'll just kind of cut and copy paste their plans, copy paste the protocols and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's like if you throw the kitchen sink at everyone that you cross. A few of them are going to look great, and then you kind of they ride the coattails of those few athletes that look awesome. But little do you know, they've got a roster full of amateurs that look like shit, that probably have health issues and things like that. But if you look, man, if you follow Coach Colton and some of his clients and things like that, this dude coaches lifestyle people, get in shape. He's helped me, go from I thought I was okay, I was definitely not as lean as I thought, but I thought I was a decent bodybuilder. But just getting on plan with him and locking in and having like the blueprint that I needed to make sure that I'm doing the right work, because I love to work hard, but sometimes we might not always do the right work. We're doing hard, but he makes sure that I'm always doing the right work. He gives me, the perfect plan. He knows how to bring the best out of everyone, and he's really good with, like, athlete psychology, I feel like, and he won't directly tell you that, but I think he knows. Like, he knows when people are fucking off on their meal plan. He knows what he needs to put in there to make sure that he gets the results that you want. Whether you know that he's doing it or not, he, you'll see the results, man. So it's pretty cool. Um, yeah, I'd highly advise you guys getting a coach. Check him out. He's great. Um, I myself also am coaching, definitely the level that he is as far as amount of clients, but I do have a smaller roster. And I try to kind of keep it that way just so I can be more like one on one with each person that I'm in contact with. And I can really give you like my undivided attention at all times. I try not to in like get in deeper than I can handle essentially. So right now I'm only coaching 6 people and that works great for me. I could probably handle like 10 to 15 right now with the way that I kind of do my process and everything like that, doing everything through Google Sheets. Everything is like from raw to plan with each client. So I like build it from ground up basically and make a lot of changes there at the beginning to kind of really make sure that we have your food where it needs to be to either have you gaining weight or losing. And then from that point, we kind of just establish that healthy baseline food, make changes from there through on throughout the rest of the phase of whether we're growing or cutting or whatever it may be. And then really it's just being consistent, man. Like, making all these crazy changes to your plan each and every day is really not the best way to do it, but consistently sticking to the same plan each and every day is the way to do it. That's when you're going to really see those results week to week, And another thing, if you're on your fitness journey and you're serious about really wanting to, like, optimize the way that you approach everything as far as like with your physique and you approach your decisions that you're making with, if you need cut, if it's time for a health phase, whatever it may be, I highly suggest taking check-in photos. Try to replicate those pictures each and every week, the same time, take them fasted. Um, mine every Sunday morning. I take my pictures fasted in the same spot with the same lights, with the same phone. And I try to make sure that I can always recreate that. And then that's where you're going to really be able to see that progress. I try not to really base much on the scale at all. And I really just like to go off the visuals, even with my clients and stuff and with myself, because we can get hung up on the scale pretty easily. It's really easy to get hung up on the scale. And you'll almost trick yourself into thinking that you're looking better or whatever it may be because you're heavier. And then hindsight being 20, like when I was at 275, I thought I was huge. And then now here I am down at 231, 235, somewhere in there, depending on the day. Um, and I put those photos side by side, and it's insane that I'm 40 pounds lighter, but I look like I'm 20 pounds bigger than I was at my heaviest weight. So that's how you know bodybuilding is a lot of illusion, and the weight is that doesn't mean everything. Like I said, physically I am a wider and bigger person than I was at that heavier weight as well, and I'm significantly leaner, so that only makes you look bigger. Um, Again, just that creating that illusion, how to shape, having the aesthetics. That's what I'm really after. I don't really necessarily care about being the biggest, but I do want to have the best proportions. I want to have a nice tight waist, wide shoulders, wide lats, sweeping quads. And I think that my approach, as far as just not ever really pushing the food too hard, going to make sure that I don't ever blow that waist out. And that's my number one priority with bodybuilding right now is just keep the waist in check, let everything else grow, and it's at the speed that it wants to. Don't push the food too hard, and if you're training properly and eating right, the gains will come, and you don't need to rush them all year or 2 years. Just let your body do its thing. Take your time, don't push the gear too hard. Um, Take what you need to make progress. Obviously, don't be sitting here like microdosing everything. If you know that's not going to do anything, it's like no point in exposing yourself to the hormones if you're going to take such a small amount that it's not even going to do anything. Stay natty, but you don't want to be blasting so much that like it's hindering health and all that good stuff. You want to be able to still eat, still train hard. All those things are way more important. And then the gear is just like the icing, honestly. That's the little sprinkle on top. It's essential and it's very important. But if you just make sure that you are taking the stuff that you need and taking enough to get the result, and then you really focus on everything else, take what you need. Don't worry about it. Don't get too hung up on it, and then lock in on your food, lock in on your sleep, lock in on your training. That's where you're going to see the gains. That's where you're going to see the results. When you just groundhog day each and every day, get up, fasted cardio, meal one, go train, whatever, however you got your day, stay locked in, and that's where you're going to really see those results. Don't sit here and get hung up on the 2% that really doesn't make a damn. When it buttoned up the 90%, that's where you're going to really see those gains. So, sorry, moving my vehicle here. So that is my advice, guys, and just a little bit of what's going on today. I hope y'all have an awesome day today and reach all your goals. And you guys are out there getting after it and whatever you may be doing, getting in the gym today, fucking crush it. Yeah, 16 days out. Cannot wait. Can't wait to see what I can bring to stage. And I hope that it is, well, I know it's going to be my best yet for sure. So I'm super excited, and I hope that, yeah, I hope that I truly can bring my best. Much love to you guys. Everyone have a great day today.